Hello.
Hey,
Hello, welcome to the stream.
um, well, a lot that my mic's kind of quiet too. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can. I'll go ahead and boost your volume just a little. Yeah, all right. So, do you have a preferred alias, either of you?
Uh, you can always call me burritoEclair or just John. That's
You can just call me Sam, yeah.
oh, that's really good. Yeah, 3-letter names are the way to go.
John and Sam. Okay, I can do that. I can remember 3-letter names, I would hope. All right. Well, welcome to the stream. This is a familiar extract format. Is this game made in GameMaker Studio 2?
Yeah. It
Nice. My game, Allocate, is made in GameMaker Studio version 1.4.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you
I
went
used
retro.
1.4
Cool.
forever.
It's retro. It's what I paid for. So yeah, just not super keen on rebuying the HTML export license.
Oh yeah, the licenses are so expensive in GameMaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to use the free version of 1.4 until 2 came out, and then that's when I finally bought it.
Yep.
Was
Sounds good.
GMTK didn't they get like a small little deal where it was like you got GameMaker Studio 2 during this jam? Is that right? I don't know.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they said that as long as you're using like for the duration of the jam, you get the sort of Mac and PC export licenses for GameMaker Studio 2.
That's cool.
So
We should
yeah,
export to Mac.
It would be hard to like learn a new engine at the same time you're making the game. So I don't think
yeah,
that's very
exactly.
practical.
It seems kind of weird to me. It's like that's all well and good that you get to use the engine for free for the duration of the jam, but like as you said, that kind of implies that people have to figure it out on the fly.
Yeah.
So, and also, even if you get the Mac export, I think you still have to have an Apple computer to do the export too.
You do, yeah. I've tried to do it before.
Yeah.
You need a Mac.
All right. So let me go ahead and launch your game here. All right.
A few things to note that are listed on the itch.io page is that
Yeah.
at one point we mirrored the sprite for the slot machine, but we didn't update the hitbox to match it because I was always using the hotkeys and I just never noticed. So you pretty much have to use the hotkeys.
Okay.
Which are-
QWE.
Yeah.
And R, of course.
R to reroll. I see. Okay. So QWE is to select tile, R to reroll. Okay. Actually, there's a fair bit of information here. Do you? I can read this out, or I guess I can just open up these. I guess the game is also explaining this, but what do you think? What's the best?
A lot of it is flavor text, I think. With the GIFs plus that warning, you're probably good.
Okay. So tiles can be placed adjacent to existing tiles, right? And some tiles can join together to make bigger tiles. Okay. So let's get started. And there is a full screen. Excellent. So many
Yeah.
GameMaker games. That's the thing. It's like, oh yeah, we just didn't turn on full screen. It's like, are you kidding me? In GameMaker,
Yeah, it's
full
just-
screen is like one line.
It's literally it's one line too, or it's a checkbox in settings. All I
Yeah.
did was turn on the checkbox in settings. I didn't write any code for it.
Yeah, it's it always astonishes me when people don't add the full screen option to their GameMaker games. But I don't know. I guess the weirdest things just drop out of your head when you don't when you're in the middle of a jam and you can't like you're trying to focus on what you're doing. Anyway, I'll go ahead and start in with the questions then, and I don't know. So, Sam and John, what were your respective roles on the project?
I was the I handled all the art, the music, and the audio. I think I also had a really big hand in boosting morale.
That's true, he did. I wrote the code, and we pretty much 50-50 on design.
Nice. All right. So I'll try
49,
to.
51. I think.
In whose favor?
I was about
In
to
your
ask.
favor.
You think?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I'll take it.
All right. So I will start in with this question applies sort of to both of you equally. How did you decide on what you're going to make for the jam?
We both pitched 3 ideas to each other. I remember on that day, and neither of us really liked any of our ideas. But both of our last ideas were like sort of similar, so we ended up just combining those, and we both pretty much liked it.
Yeah, I think our last idea, I think you had a bigger, not a bigger say in it, but you had a bigger idea, and mine was just sort of like a little bit of flavor to it that kind of shaped sort of how these things worked. Because I wanted the idea of like, oh, you're a map maker, because I kind of get obsessed with making maps. But yeah, I think a lot of the rest of the idea at least was yours.
Yeah, and you came up with a lot of the tile combinations and the specific stuff too.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to end up with an idea that both of you were happy with. I know that sometimes it's kind of tricky to decide on a project together.
Yeah, definitely. In the past, there's a lot of game jams that I've done where it's been whatever the first 3 ideas are bad, so we just pick the least bad one, and then we like maybe 4 hours in, we kind of feel too committed to admit that we hate it.
Yeah.
I think we've all done that.
Yeah, there's definitely been at least one game jam that I was a part of where it was a complete design by committee, and ooh, nice, I made a little whirlpool there. Oh, game over.
Yeah, so when you can't afford to reroll, that's when you game over. So you've got to keep money coming in from different sources to keep your points up.
Oh, okay.
One of the mechanics that Sam made, I'm gonna give you credit for it, was if you don't use all the tiles, like if you have if you only want to use one of the tiles, you get points back after you reroll. But unfortunately, that does, if you need like 5 in you're gonna get 5 after you reroll, it'll still game over.
Yeah, it's a refund.
Yeah, it's a delayed refund.
Yeah, because I felt like there really needed to be an incentive, because like there was no reason to not just place every tile you were given. And I wanted there to be sort of at least some kind of interesting choice about whether you were going to place each tile or not. And another thing too is that every 10 tiles you place will increase the cost to reroll. So that's sort of the second long-term incentive.
It's a navigation tax, just like in real life.
All right. And I guess there's different combinations of tile that you place next to each other that are going to result in earning points.
Yeah, they all have different point and coin values too for some of them.
Ah, I see. Okay. Oh, Imperial Fool, thank you for the follow.
So yeah, any tile you get straight out of the slot machine, you can make a 2x2 version of. And then there are some 3x3 combinations of like different types of tiles.
Okay.
And I think we only hint at that in some of the screenshots. A lot of people who have made comments who have been really, really sweet and polite, they'll post screenshots and they have like some of the more advanced ones. And I'm like, how the heck do you guys figure that out?
There is a GIF on the itch.io page which hints at.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I made that. I should remember that, shouldn't I?
All right. Can you recommend a... Oh, actually, sorry, I think I skipped to the third question. So what was your development process like for the game? I guess you can sort of take it in turn to talk about the programming and the art and audio design.
I think at the beginning we both we spat out some ideas. There was one that clicked for us, and I had post-it notes all over my work area that just said MVP, please keep simple. So Sam, in very little time, had something working using my old initial sprites that were ugly as sin, and the game functioned almost the way it was going to eventually function even now. So we worked pretty fast, and we had something going probably within the first, would you say, like, first 4 hours, it was a playable, in quotes, game.
Yeah, I mean, I was at work when the I worked both days during the jam, so I
Oh
was
yeah,
at
that's
work
right.
when
We
the
had an
theme came
hour.
out. So I like looked at it on my phone and I was just thinking about it all day. And then as soon as I got home, we got to work.
Thanks.
Yeah, the code's a mess, all of it. It's just if statements and God, I want to expand the game because I like the game and I want to keep improving it, but I do not want to look at that code ever again.
Do you think that's a
Someday
code
I'm gonna have to go
rewrite?
back to it. Might have to, yeah.
Okay.
Such is the nature of a game jam, unfortunately, most of the time. I know that definitely, like, towards the end of the project, I was, ended up using a lot of constants and just writing stuff in line.
Yeah, my comments, you can tell, like, how early I wrote something from how good the comments are. They just trail off as the further it got.
I think there's Amanchess, I have to take a moment to say that's not how you get your game played on the stream. I made a very clear process, and there's a order to go through. You can't just keep asking for it. That's not going to be fair to everyone else. If you want to stay around and hang in chat, then you have a chance to get your game played at random. But you can't just keep asking. That's just going to make me less likely to play because you're not respecting everyone else who submitted their game before you. Sorry about that. I don't like to lay down the law like that, but no, not in chat. Euler Moses, I recognize that name though. Please go ahead and use the submit command and you'll get the instructions you need. Sorry to interrupt about that. I was just going to mention, what was I saying? Yeah, as I was mentioning, I was inlining code and such. I got totally distracted about that. Yeah, because the syntax between GameMaker Studio 2 and GameMaker Studio 1 is largely the same.
Yeah.
So, what do you have any useful recommendations or clever hacks that you can recommend to other GameMaker users?
Game maker tricks.
Or even just programming development tricks in general.
Just steal your code off the forums. You can't do something. Find someone who's done it and copy them. I did that a lot.
Did you participate? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So I finished 2 years of computer science so far, and that's pretty much all I've learned. It's just how to steal code off Stack Overflow.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always stealing. Sometimes it's figuring out how to
Good
just
order-
not
good-
reinvent the wheel.
What do
Sorry?
they say? Good artists borrow, great artists steal.
Let me see if I can pull this up.
I didn't even steal anything this whole jam. I was tempted to.
That's good. You're the artist. You can.
Well, I mean,
want to.
you know, with the audio, I thought the last game jam I did was LD48, and we had someone who was a designated sound designer, and they made it seem way too easy. So I was like, oh yeah, this will be easy. I have Audacity, I have a microphone, and I have BFXer. I'll be fine. Because I went into this thinking, like, we're going to make a platformer. You know, pew pew is the gun sound.
Yeah.
Loop is jump. And that's all I need. And then we didn't make a platformer, and my body was not ready.
You didn't like your sound effects. You were saying that they were scuffed or whatever, but everyone I've talked to so far has loved the sound effects. Me too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I spent maybe like 5 hours doing 3 sound effects, and I think I spent 2 hours doing 3 songs, which eventually just became 2 songs. And then I mean, the rest of the time was art, and I think we still have close to like 12 tiles that aren't in the game, just because of time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we had some lofty goals that we cut back, and I think now with the way that this game looks and the way it plays, at least, I don't think they could, like, the adventurer's idea, I don't think is going to fit in the game if we continued with it.
So I'm noticing you're not building the 2x2 tiles, which is why you're not getting any coins. Because
No,
the 1x1s don't give you any coins.
I've been trying to, but I don't always get the I think this might have been one of the first times I got the full 4 mountains in a row. Yeah, because I was just about to say, it's like, man, I know there's all these combinations that I could be making, but I just don't know how to do it. Real quick, Kyle says, "Moo, thank you for the follow." And yeah, I agree, Lone Wolf. It definitely does sound nice and clean. I think it's really cool that you're able to pivot and make there aren't many sounds this game requires, but it all sounds good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I was not ready for like a slot machine sound. Because that's not a beep boop sound. So how am I gonna make that? So I had to like run through my house, and I actually used a coin bank my girlfriend gave me to mess with that sound. And then
I thought that was synthesized. I didn't know that.
No. I did some extreme Foley work for that. Yeah, shout out to my girlfriend for that one.
Yeah, I know that there's another tower defense game I made really early on where every single sound effect is not only is it Foley, it's sounds I made with my mouth. Yeah, just like there are a lot of games I have that have sounds that I made, and when I say that I did, people are like, "What? Are you kidding?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I listened closely." And they're like, "Oh, the explosions are just you going like," and all the shots are like, like it's really, it's surprising that not more people have noticed it.
There's a game on Steam called Hidden Foe, which is sort of like a Where's Waldo, I Spy type game. Yeah, all the sound effects are just a guy doing them with their mouth, but it's super cute in that game.
Yeah, I remember, I think somebody made like an Elder Scrolls mod where they just replaced every single sound effect in the game with the sounds they made. Which sounds very amusing, but I feel like that wears thin pretty quick.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if I just keep getting unlucky rolls here, but I really want to figure out what some of the other patterns are.
If you check on the itch.io page really quick, it shows one of them in the GIF, one of the 3x3s.
Yeah. Ooh, fancy. So put water in the midst of a 3x3 of. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
You want to be making swamps a lot more too. We made swamps really OP by accident, so they're pretty much mandatory.
How do you make
watering grass next to each other?
Oh,
yeah. You've already done that like a handful of times.
I thought those were little fir trees with snow on them.
The little mushrooms, yeah. It's more obvious when you make the big.
Okay. Yeah, I did see that. Now that I see the red mushroom, it's much more obvious. Okay, so, sorry, I think I sort of skipped ahead to the next question, but did you have anything else you wanted to talk about for the development process in the game?
No, I think it just sort of, I think we worked really well together as far as things went. Any idea I had was, like, we assessed it honestly, and a lot of times, my ideas were like, yeah, that's good, but, like, how would that work? Or do we have enough time to do that? That was always a big one.
Yeah, because you had some ideas that were just like a whole second game, like disconnected from this one.
Yeah, and that was actually the initial idea I had, the concept that you would build like villages and they would go to these like new dungeons and things like that. But I think it took away from a lot of the focus, because we ended up cutting the game into like where we were planning it out into like phases. Like phase 1 is what the game is now, and then once you build up a village that's big enough, you are on phase 2 where you have one adventurer go out, and then there's phase 3 where you had like parties of them. But we never resolved to figure out like what makes an adventuring party do something. Like, is that any more fun than just building the map? But I mean, what we have now is something I'm 100% definitely proud of, and it totally works. It functions with only one not very easily noticed bug. And
Well,
yeah,
I mean, there's the obvious one.
well,
of
you can't
the-
see it.
You can't see it, but you notice it when you go to click the slot machine and nothing happens.
Is
Yeah,
there
that was,
supposed to be a click volume somewhere here?
Yeah, so originally the slot machine was basically mirrored. So if
Yeah.
you click on the right-hand side, where it would be if it was
Ah.
mirrored, that's where the hitbox still is.
Okay, yeah. So sorry, I remember you mentioning that at the beginning of the stream, but then since I just was pressing R the whole time, I didn't realize that that's what I was supposed to do. So yeah,
See,
I mean,
that's
it's
what I
an-
didn't realize either. Because
Yeah.
during testing, I was using the hotkeys too. I never
Yeah,
went
yeah.
back to using the click.
It was like halfway through we decided to flip it because we wanted more of the map to show.
Yeah.
People have complimented us having it on the left side because they're left-handed, and I was like,
Hmm.
oh yeah, left-handed people. I'm a left-handed people. Oh yeah.
Did you do that on purpose, or were you just trying to make it look more like a mouse cursor?
No, because we have it squished over to the right side. It felt like it was like people would click out of the window. So that was
I mean,
like
the
my big
hand
concern.
itself is left-handed too, though, right?
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice either until the
You know
first time
what?
I did that. That's what I was thinking.
I used my mouse right. Actually, no, I was using my tablet, so I was left-handed. I don't know. I don't know. It's
Well,
my
there you go.
left-hand bias.
Yeah.
Oh, as far
Right.
as shortcuts with like art and stuff,
Mhm.
having an established palette is so useful. I went into this with a I think it was like a 32 color palette that I was ready to use. It was one that I had built myself, and then I switched over to the 32 color Arns palette, the guy over at Android Arts, who does really nice stuff. It's really nice to use somebody else's palette that's been like developed and worked through for a long time. I think all the colors are going to end up a lot more vibrant using his palette, but also I think on the Pixelation forum, he has like a whole like thread where people just like break down like the colors and stuff, and it's very, very interesting if you're into color. But yeah, it works really, really well for a lot of different instances. And then not only using like a palette is nice, but also I don't know if anybody else can notice, but a lot of these tiles, they're seamless with themselves because of Sprite's new tile maps, but they're accidentally there's like lines that go into one another. Like you can even see from the water to the desert, there's like that line that was accidental. So make lots of good accidents.
There you go. Just be lucky.
Yeah, be
The
lucky.
aesthetic too. It looks like really strongly, and sounds like a early '90s kind of PC game, and we never talked about that before. You kind of came up with that on your own, and I love that.
Yeah,
just-
I sort of plopped down a few colors, and it sort of ended up that we got to a point where I was like, if I work on this more, I'll be wasting time. And then I think we both liked how it looked. I was like, okay, this is as far as I'm going with all these.
Yeah, just looks and sounds like Pajama Sam or like Diablo 1 or Zumbinis or stuff like that.
I remember playing Zumbinis. Now, I
Next
played.
game is going to be a Zumbinis game. We talked about that. Yeah.
I played the original Zumbinis Logical Adventure, or Logical Journey of the Zumbinis, I think is what it was called, on PC. It was on our grade 1 computers, and us all being such young kids at the time, we plugged in right via pizza. Us all being such young kids at the time, We were shouting and cheering when we made it to the end of the game with 2 Zumbinis.
That's awesome. At least you guys got to
Yeah.
it. That game was hard.
Yeah, I know it took us a long time as a class of just like every kid taking turns, and it's like, oh man, we just don't understand logic at this age, but we're gonna just keep chipping our way through it until we finally get to the end.
I
Kid
sure
patience,
will.
right?
Yeah.
That's one quality that I think our game has. Like, even if you have no idea how the game works, you might still accidentally make a swamp, and that's awesome.
Yeah, making swamps is really all you have to do. Just place grass next to water,
Yeah.
which is something. Yeah, we gotta fix that. We gotta add more types, other viable strategies. But
Well, I mean, we also have lots of other tiles that we wanted to put in. Like, we had jungle, we had wasteland. There was another one I had that had like 7 different variations that I
yeah,
don't think I told you how I wanted the variations to work, and I'm glad I didn't.
I think you put it on the Google Doc, but I didn't understand it, and I didn't want to ask because
Because if it was good, we'd want to put it in.
yeah, looked like a lot of work.
Well, do you have any ideas to add those in for a post-jam version?
Oh yeah. Like we're definitely gonna do like bug fixes post jam. We gotta do something for accessibility because a lot of people are saying that the game looks fun, but they can't figure out how to play it, which is not their fault at all. It's super obtuse, kind of fitting the theme of old 90s PC games. But
Exactly, yeah. We meant to do that.
yeah, we gotta add some kind of encyclopedia with the combination, some tool tips on tiles.
I think
Stuff like that.
one of the original ideas we had for that was having like a piece of paper that you could reference. So I don't know if you're going to have it like once you figured out the combination, like accidentally, it would show up. So you'd always know how to make a mountain because you've made a 2x2 of mountains. Or you can make a volcano because you did a 2x2 of mountains.
Yeah, that's actually literally something I was going to suggest.
Yeah, I have drawings of it ready. I just kind of ran out of time.
Oh, hey, Alex Spark Games, thank you so much for the raid. I just want to take a second to acknowledge some of the funny stuff that's coming up in chat here. First of all, I completely agree. Cow says moo. Palettes are indeed so important. Theta GC, thank you. The stream has been going well so far. And Playbro, I think it would be pretty hilarious if Bob Ross said just make good mistakes, but I think the advice is a little more along the line of, everything is just a happy accident and you can turn it into something, I wish I could remember the exact phrase that Bob Ross would use. But Bogdan is commenting as well, I really want this game to have a whole meta storyline further drawing on the Loop Hero inspiration. And Alex Clark, again, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you for popping into the stream. I sincerely appreciate it. And oh my goodness, the full magnitude of that raid just hit me. Welcome everybody to the stream. Just a real quick stream admin. Sorry, Sam, John, to keep you waiting, but what I'm doing here is I am playing games and hopping onto Discord calls with the developers so we can chat about, I've got a set of questions here, but of course anyone in chat is also free to ask questions that I will pass on to the devs. And if you'd like to get your game played on the stream, then use !submit and you'll get the instructions. You can submit your game via the Discord, and that's how I get the interviews going. So with that bit of stream admin out of the way, let's continue with, I think what I have here as the, so we were just talking about what your plans were for the game going forward.
All next-gen graphics, 4K resolution. We're already talking with Sony about getting exclusivity for PlayStation 5.
We're gonna get the PSVR.
Yeah, PSVR. We're in the beta for that.
No, yeah, just like accessibility has to be number one because I think that's the most glaring issue, and that's kind of my biggest regret about the Jam 2. Second thing is a high scoreboard. I think online high scores for this would make it a lot more addicting. Trying to beat as many people as you can, seeing what they got.
You got so much better at this game.
Me?
When I started paying attention to
Oh,
making
yeah.
the, you know, the swamps, as you mentioned,
Yeah.
that really is the key. So, and also, yeah, just trying to make sure. There we go. Let's put some water next to these houses. Get that house of water. Houses love water.
It's what houses crave, right?
You know, all I can think of is the number of people who I've heard complaining about water damage to their houses. Like, no, houses do not crave water.
I think it depends on the house. Oh yeah, that's a bit of an issue.
I don't think that's an issue. It's just I don't think we've ever stated what priority combinations go. I think it's whatever's like the left or something.
Yeah, I think it starts left and goes clockwise.
Just like in real life. Okay.
Yeah, the highest score I've seen is 9950 actually by my buddy. I've never seen over 10k.
I guess I just started getting a bunch of lucky rolls. Like it really did just come down to continuing to, make the swamps as you said, and trying to place more tiles adjacent. Just like focusing on making things in fours instead of some other times where I had stuff drawn out in lines. But yeah, I'm still really curious to see what some of the more obscure tile combinations would be. So I would love it if there was something else in the game, like. I know that you can't give away what the recipes for something would be, but even if you just had like a scrapbook of the different things that you could make, and then having just like a bunch of blank spots that maybe hint at one of the basic recipes that's involved, because, I don't know if you ever need 3 ingredients to make something, or whether it's always just a combination of 2. But yeah, I don't know if you want to answer or give that away.
Yeah, so far 2. There's nothing that takes more than 2 ingredients. And this is kind of for John too, but I think we should definitely add like for the scrapbook where it shows sort of like an outline of the tiles and maybe like just a couple of them.
Oh yeah, I already have stuff ready for that.
Okay.
Like I think on like the maybe day 2 of voting, or is it, I don't know what day it is. But like a few people asked me questions like I don't know what combinations to do, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, we never said. So I started mocking up like it looks like sketches and stuff, because this is gonna be like a map maker. But yeah, that's definitely something that needs to be done.
Like the itch.io page is kind of crucial for this too.
Yeah, and that's our little nod to like old NES games where you had to read the instruction manual.
It's like the manual, yeah.
Yeah.
You're just saying that like it's on purpose, though.
Yeah, of course.
We just ran out of time.
No. We didn't make mistakes. We made intentional
Happy accident.
retro accident design choices.
Also, just in reference to what you were saying about bad artists steal, bad artists imitate, great artists steal. I love this image so much because I hate Picasso. Like, I hate what he stood for as an artist in terms of like, it literally doesn't matter how bad of a thing that I draw. You'll buy it because it has my name on it. And it's like, that is so antithetical to what I think an artist should be doing. So I love the fact that this got scratched out and replaced with Banksy.
Never knew that. I mean, I don't know much about Picasso, but
I don't know much about
that is
art.
funny. That is a good picture.
Yeah, I mean, Picasso, this is... I don't know for fact if this is true, but I did remember hearing about the fact that Picasso was asked for a signature, like, at a restaurant, and he took a napkin, scrawled a signature on it, said that'll be $1,000. It's because it has my name on it. Whoa. Anyway, 3190. I think that's a pretty good score.
That's a good score. It's a respectable score.
Clay bro, you stole bagels every morning in art school? I think... I'm not sure if that's exactly the meaning, but let's see what the cafeteria staff have to say about that. Yeah, not to mention all the stuff about Picasso being a womanizer. I completely agree. He sucks. I don't care if it's bad to speak ill of the dead, but I don't care. I don't care for Picasso. Anyway, not to bring things down, but yeah, did anyone in chat have any questions that they want to pass along? And otherwise, I'll give people an opportunity to submit those. And in the meantime, do you have any shoutouts or any other projects that you'd like to promote?
I'm not really working on anything else.
Just myself. I try to do like a certain amount of squats every day because I'm trying to get mind and body sort of at peak performance. I'm not kidding about this either. You just remember, everybody do your squats. But I do want to actually shout out another game called Tree Mates. I didn't know they were gonna join the game jam, but it's someone I've known since high school, and it's their first game jam, and they had like no good tools. They downloaded Krita the day before, and they had I think they had a tablet that's used for signatures, and that's what they used to draw everything in the game. And they lost the whole big animated intro. But they made a very adorable game. It's called Tree Mates, and I'll throw it in the chat.
Absolutely,
definitely
please do.
Check it out. It's so uplifting and heartwarming.
That sounds great. All right. Well, Sam, John, thank you so much for joining me on the stream. This has been a lot of fun. And yeah, let me at least wait another second to see if anything else, any other questions come in from the chat.
You gotta complete a 3x3. Make the Shangri-La.
Oh, sorry?
You gotta make the Shangri-La.
Yeah, I wanted to see if there was any 3x3 that came about putting water in the middle of houses, but haven't been getting any more
There is.
house ties.
I'll give you a little hint. There's not.
Oh, okay.
Can I give you a huge hint that I don't? So there is a super secret thing that I don't think anyone has ever been able to get, and if they do,
It can't be done.
I might send them a custom picture. It's a 4x4 of water. That's a 2x2 of whirlpools.
Yeah.
If someone can get that, hit me up on
Post it in the comments.
Discord, Twitter.
Post a screenshot in the comments on
Does it
do that. That's actually probably a better way.
Yeah.
Does the tile become the Seafoam Islands from Pokemon?
I don't know about those. I haven't played Pokemon since
Okay.
Gold.
It might. It could.
I mean, yeah, it might. Have you ever thought of that?
Well, I mean,
You'll
you
have
say you
to
haven't
find
played.
out.
You say you haven't played Pokemon since Gold. The Seafoam Islands were in Gold. Pokemon.
I don't think
Yellow-
You know what? I don't think I played Gold in English. I had a Japanese version we played on an emulator. That when we ran it on the emulator, it actually crashed the computer because computers were so bad back then.
Oh man. Yeah, the only reason that I mentioned it is because I know that the 2x2 of water makes a whirlpool, and the Seafoam Islands are a area in the Pokemon game where you had to unlock the hidden move Whirlpool in order to get past them. So that was the connection. It wasn't just random. Alright, the gauntlet has been thrown down. 4x4 water. Let's see if anyone can manage it. I think I will have to see if I can achieve that on a different day. We're going to move on to the next game. But thank you, Sam and John, for joining me on the call today. And if you do make any improvements to the game, then please let me know on Discord, and I will give it another try if you'd like any more feedback on the game. That is.
Thanks so much. Yeah, for sure we will. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Love
chat.
you
I
too.
love you.
Love you too.
All right. Talk to you later.
Peace.
Bye-bye.